We now should have good audio. Thank you, Celia. I appreciate you. I had the wrong audio device selected, so if you're watching live on Facebook, well, now you should be able to hear me. In fact, I will unmute and make sure. Yep. In fact, I will unmute and make sure. Now you can hear me. I'm so sorry, you guys. I just was like, boom, 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 I'm live, and I just started talking, and I did not select the correct audio device, because I am a music person, and I have several audio devices, and I picked the wrong one. I'm a champion. Good morning, everybody. I'm actually going to put a comment everywhere. Hey, folks, audio should be working now. Yes, I'm glad too. I was actually just heading over to check Facebook, so I probably would have caught it, but I'm really glad that you caught it first. Thank you, Celia. Okay, hey folks, audio should be working now. That comment should go to Facebook and Twitch and YouTube, so everyone should see it who needs to see it. Okay, I have just altered the commenting on my Facebook post so that only established followers can comment. That is because it tends to cut down on spam. Speaking of cutting down on spam, here's what to do if you would like me to pull a card for you. Drop a cat in the chat. Write either you can write the word meow if you want, or you can just put your favorite cat emoji in the chat. And when you do that, it signals to me that I should pull a card. And we do that both because it's cute and fun and cats, and also because when people say, I find that when people say, oh, pull a card for me, it's like honey. Like it draws the spammers like moths to a flame. And the spammers come on and they start leaving crappy, weird comments. Like, DM me for a reading. I see your future. And I want to let you know, I will never leave you a comment like that. I will never comment and ask you to DM me and pay me money for a reading. I post my links where you can pay me for a reading, but I'm never going to tell you, like, DM me for your card. I'm doing the cards live right now. You don't have to message me. And I just tell people that because I don't ever want anyone to be taken in by a spammer. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Good meowing, Rory and Sassafriends. Y'all are wonderful. Okay, so I have a few cards to pull for patrons who signed up early. Patrons always get a chance to jump the line a little bit. And if you'd like to be a patron, there's a link that should be, if you're on Instagram, it's in my bio. If you're watching anywhere else, it should be scrolling across the bottom of my feed, so it'll come back around. You're always welcome to join up. It's $1 a month or whatever you can afford, different perks at different levels. And that gets you access to a few different things. Backstage passes to my podcast. By the way, patrons, all of your bonus June content is going live today or tomorrow. I know it's been a little overdue, but that's happening as well as the main podcast. As well as like opportunity to jump the line on the Witchy Weather Report and a cute community in Discord, a couple other things. Good meowing. Hi, Mary Jane. Anyway, let me first pull a card for everyone. This is for all of us. This card is intended to be for the month coming up for July, and it's just intended to give us like a little idea of like what can we expect, what's coming up, and how can we use this energy for our highest good. We have the Fool, everybody. It's time to take the leap. If there has been a thing that you've been like, oh, maybe I do this, maybe. It's time to take the leap. We are favored right now by allowing ourselves to trust in the beauty of the universe, allowing ourselves to trust that the universe is in fact holding our hand, and whatever that means to you, you know. And you know me, I use belief as a tool, and I believe that it's more important that a belief be helpful to me day to day, that it helped me live a life that feels more meaningful and in which I feel I have more power, because that usually means I do have more power. If I feel I have more power, I see more opportunities, etc. And choosing to believe that the universe is holding my hand, whether it's true or not, has been useful to me. So I invite you, like, I just share that with you. I invite you to go ahead and believe it. No one can stop you. It's you get to decide all by yourself. And choosing to believe that the universe is holding my hand has been helpful to me, has made me feel more supported during scary times, and has made me feel more faith during times when I need to take a leap of faith, and more personally empowered. It means that I make choices out of excitement and joy, not fear. So I invite you to hold that belief if it feels like it might work for you, to give it a try. We can try on beliefs like a pair of jeans that we might or might not purchase. We don't have to it doesn't have to be about is this inherently true? When it comes to belief, it's very hard to arrive at those conclusions. But we do get an opportunity to decide, well, how am I going to act? I'm going to act as if I believe this thing. And for me, that's been helpful. So believe that the universe is holding your hand. Believe that you have a safety net. Believe that if you show up, if you hold your nose and dive in, if you go for it, if you go for the thing that you're dreaming of right now in big and small ways, that you will be supported. And that if you don't land on your feet, that you'll learn something that's going to be so worthwhile, that's going to help you soar next time. So that's also the energy of the Fool. The Fool doesn't always win, right? The Fool is brand new. And the Fool is foolish because it's that naivete that lets us go after a dream. But it's a joyful foolishness, and it's a protected foolishness. So even when the Fool doesn't get the Fool's way, even when the Fool's okay, I'm going to try this, and it doesn't work out, the Fool fails up. We learn what we need to succeed. Or sometimes we even learn, oh, this wasn't the way, and here's a better way. Thank goodness this didn't work out, because here's a better way. But if I hadn't tried, I wouldn't have seen it. So I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you, if it's meaningful to you, to go ahead and have some faith and just go towards your dreams in a big, beautiful way. I'm in the trapeze, and I hope the net holds. Oh, big mood, Shelby. Melissa says, I've embodied let go and let God, as they say in recovery. Yeah. And I love that. I'm trying to see comments because I'm yours happens to be blocked by my little my little phone holder. Universe is in charge. I love that. Yeah, I happen to love that phrase, even though y'all know, if you tune in regularly, I don't usually talk God because personally, God is not a word with meaning to me. It actually makes me bristle, and I don't like it. And it's okay if you feel differently, of course. If God is a meaningful word for you, love on it, enjoy it. It just doesn't hit for me. And a lot of people talk about God, and so I kind of just I will say the universe, or I'll say whatever you believe in, because that's truly what I mean. And I want it to feel truly like we can all come to this with our various beliefs and feel supported and connected, and not feel like we have to translate. But I do like the phrase, let go and let God, because I don't know of another, I guess trust the universe is how it translates. You know what I mean? I don't know of another, that phrase. I don't know if it has a non-Godful corollary, but I like it, and it's meaningful to me. So yeah. Being manifest for different people in different natures. Yeah. And you know what else? I also feel that, Melissa says I sub God for universe, but yeah, the sentiment holds. Yeah, I think we can all do that. And I'm the person too who sometimes for me it's my best self is what I'm looking up to. I'm not necessarily looking for something external. It's my best self. And that depends on the day of the week, what I objectively believe to be true. But I do think it's a helpful belief that something more wise than us in the moment is looking out for us, even if it's just an inner version of ourself that has a little more intuitive wisdom. You know what I mean? Anyway, so be the fool you wish to see in the world. Take the leap. Go for the thing. Y'all, I am gonna break my own rules and run and grab my bottle of water because hydration checkpoint. But while I do that, answer me these questions 3. Question 1, where are you tuned in from today? I'm broadcasting from my feminist fairy cave. These are my self-care succulents. Question 2, what you sipping on today? I'm about to be sipping on water. I'm quite excited about it. Question 3, how are you feeling today? I want the real answer, not the polite answer. Tell me for realsies how you're feeling. We support each other on my broadcasts. I'll be right back with a bottle of water. I'm in a real time of liminality and transition this summer, and it's ups and downs, and there's been plenty of downs. I'm on an up right now. I'm feeling really hopeful. I'm feeling really joyful. And I just want to give you all, something that's been a takeaway for me is during these times of transition, during times that are hard, where I feel like there are needs and I'm not sure if they're going to get met, and there are struggles in my life, reminding myself that I'm allowed to experience joy and pleasure, even though I'm going through a difficult time, has been a huge game changer. So I just want to say, if you're going through a difficult time, I want to remind you, you're still allowed to have fun. You're still allowed to have joy. You're still allowed to have pleasure. I'm going to grab some water. Cheers, y'all. Hydration checkpoint. I like big sips of water, and I cannot lie. I'm sipping on 7-Eleven purified water right now, just the finest. I was on a road trip yesterday. I drove down to Maryland to play a music festival. It felt wonderful, and so I still got my bottle of, I bought a couple of, like, the 2-for-1 deal on the 7-Eleven water so that I would be able to be quite hydrated for my adventures. And look, you guys, look what the humidity did to my hair. I'm kind of loving it. Thank you, humidity. Thank you, humidity, the natural hairstylist. I really appreciate you. Hurrah for humidity. Okay. We got a couple of people tuned in. Tune in from my office in San Antonio. Honey oat milk latte. Ooh. Still exhausted from travel and vacation in Europe. Oh my God, your story, Jen, the other day about like all of your planes and everything. I was like, oh my goodness. Tuning in from Denver, Delaware. Hello, Dover, Delaware. I was just driving through Delaware yesterday, Nancy, watching the rain and feeling grateful for it. Yeah, drinking coffee. Tune in from Huntington. It's so good to see you, Mary Jane. Lemon seltzer. Feeling like I'm on the edge of something big. Oh, I hope you are, and I hope it's beautiful. Noticed your hair looked amazing. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa, can I just like have you follow me around everywhere? Because you make me feel so good. Actually, I kind of feel like we have committed to a life where we follow each other around and compliment each other, and I really like it. So please, let's keep doing that. Tuned in from the command center of chaos, the CCC, hiding in the AC because it is soup outside. It is soup outside. I have not drunk anything yet, but I will have water now. Hooray! We're encouraging our hydration. Melissa's on Instagram, everybody, by the way. I always feel like I'm a little messenger, like letting people know from across the different platforms where they're tuned in. Shelby tuned in from Babylon. Coffee in a Pokemon cup. Coffee in a Pokemon cup. Feeling fresh out of therapy. Love it. Coming out of post-talk, big move. Wow. Transitioning in my life, action for my feels. I love it. Starting to balance out. That's delicious. I'm so excited about that energy for you. And I also know that, like, although it sounds exciting, I know it's also stressful as hell. So I'm just sending you good vibes. Babylon with Jack. Hi, Jack. Sipping on coffee. Very excited. No reflux. Hurrah. And feeling mixed in a lot. Yeah. I understand. Sending good vibes for the mixed in a lot. I really get it. Melissa says, in what world am I not already doing that? Yeah, correct. I love it. Okay, friends. So our card, if you just tuned in for the month, is the Fool. Take the leap. Take the leap. Trust yourself. Trust yourself and trust that the universe has your back. Trust that the universe is holding your hand. So there. And I invite you to trust these things, even if you feel in your heart like they may not objectively be true. Like, objectively, we can't really, like, make a statement on what the universe does or doesn't want, or if it wants anything, or if it's indifferent. However, subjectively, we can create relationships with those around us in the universe, and in so doing, those components of the universe have your back. So choose to believe that the universe has your back as long as you show up as a good citizen of it. And I just promise your life will get a little better. That's all. Okay. Tuning in from my couch with the fan going. I also have my air purifier next to me, and I apologize if it's like a little bit of white noise in my broadcast, but y'all, my asthmatic ass needs the air purifier when it's this humid out. Happy it's the Fool. Me too. Okay, let's get into cards because I want to get to as many people as I can. I also have some housekeeping, some news for you. So remind me to tell you later. About number one, I offer Witchy Weather Reports, and I'm going to be recording July's premium Witchy Weather Reports, where I give you an individualized one tomorrow morning. So remind me to tell you about that later if you would like to sign up for one. They're $37 or $27 if you subscribe and save. And two, it's the last day to join Shadowwork Summer School. So if you would like to join it, remind me. I'll pop a link in the chat. Okay, I'm going to start with cards. Okay, first off, we have Grayson. What do I need to be aware of in July? Okay, pulling a card for you, Grayson. Grayson, your card is Justice. Justice also is about clarity in a big way in this deck, because you can see this like stark black and white, and you can also see that there's like a mix of shadow and light. Like, the truth is that we can't see truth without the gradation, right? We can't have all good or all bad. First of all, that's not particularly realistic. And secondly, we can't assess what's what without having the basis for comparison, right? So I just want to share with you that clarity right now comes from looking at the good and looking at the bad and coming to some conclusions with both sets of input, and that justice may feel at times like a mix of both, and what it really is justice is like taking things into account and rebalancing the scales. In general, though, when we get justice, it's a good card, and it's a subjectively good card, meaning we get the justice we think we deserve. So some people think of this in terms of karma, in terms of like you get what comes around, or like the Wiccan read, you know, like what you put out comes back to you times 3. Like, different traditions have those kind of beliefs that basically are in so many words, what I put out comes back to me. Now, sometimes we feel like that happens, and sometimes we feel like it doesn't, right? Justice, when justice comes up, it really indicates like you're getting the justice cause and effect, right? The actions that you've put out there, the energy you've put out there is coming back to you. And this is energetic, so it doesn't mean exactly that it's like, okay, I'm putting all of this energy for this one specific thing. That one specific thing might not work out, but something like it might, right? It's like, it's energetic. Life never works out exactly like we think. It's frankly too chaotic. But when we put out good energy can come back. And for you, Grayson, like, first of all, remember that clarity comes from looking at the good and the bad, and allowing those two things to be compared and contrasted, and thinking about them in a kind of objective way, not a kind of like, not looking to be an optimist or a pessimist, like not looking to be glass half full, glass half empty, but just looking to be honest and thoughtful. So that's just a message I felt compelled to share with you. And also that the rebalancing of the scales is happening in real time right now. So what you put out does come back to you. All right, next up, we've got Jen, followed by Millie, and then I will get Melissa, and then I'll get everybody else. But that's as many names as will fit in my brain right now. Jen, Millie, Melissa, coming up on deck. Thank you so much for tuning into the Witchy Weather Report, you guys. I love doing this every month. I know, especially in the summer, whether it's a Saturday or Sunday can be variable. So always just watch my social media. Wherever you're watching right now, if you hit follow, if you're not following already, that will help. Okay, Jen, here is your card. And Jen's question was, what should I focus on in July? A great question. You know, I love, especially those of you who've taken my tarot classes, you know I love a good question, and I think that's a great question. Jen, the Mother of Pentacles, and I just want to tell you, you and me are going on a journey, because this is also, I have been instructed, I've been giving my marching orders by my guides in the universe that this is a focus for me as well. So we'll be going on a Mother of Pentacles journey together, Jen. Mother of Pentacles is about creating abundance and creating that sense of safety, stability, and flow for yourself. It's when not that I just spent a bunch of minutes telling you how the universe has your back and how I think believing that is helpful, whether it's objectively true or not. But in a different vein, this is about having your own back. Creating stability for yourself, showing up one day at a time for the loving actions to take care of yourself. And it's like, for me, the most effective way to do this for myself has been to almost think of myself like a pet hamster. Like, if instead of me going like, what do I have to do? And like the huge to-do list that comes out of that, some of which is for my highest good and some of which isn't. And some of which is really me working towards a good future and some of which is straight up workaholism. When I think of myself like a pet hamster, it really helps, right? Like, what does the hamster need today? Does she need enrichment in her enclosure? Does she run around a lot and now she needs rest? Does she need a treat? Does she need some time on the hamster wheel to like work things out and move her body? Does she need fresh water? What does the hamster need today? I invite you to think of yourself. I invite all of you, think of yourselves in a loving way like a hamster. And if you are not like a rodent person, then feel free to sub in like your favorite adorable animal that you would like to take care of. Take loving care of yourself right now, and be aware that this bears more fruits than just the boring fruits. Like the boring self-care, meaning the day-to-day work, right? The day-to-day work of all of our aspects of our stability, showing up for our finances one day at a time, not crazily, but like doing the steady work that will get our finances in a good balance, showing up for our health one day at a time by taking baby steps, not jumping off the cliff of over exercise or, extreme choices, but just showing up and making the day to day good small choices that become sustainable. Showing up one step at a time for our mental health, making sure that we have time to sleep, time to breathe, time to be ourselves, and downtime. Those boring choices that we make a little bit every day, they bear real fruit, and they don't just bear fruit in terms of like, yeah, then I'll be more stable. They bear fruit in terms of when we give ourselves that gift of making and keeping small promises to ourselves, life becomes very delicious very fast. Because when we are in our stability, when we allow ourselves to have stability rather than stress and overwhelm and pushing, things start to happen in ways that feel like magic. And my opinion is it's not magic. It's just the inner magic of the human mind. Like, this is your mind on stability. Like, this is your mind on showing up for yourself. And it makes a dramatic difference. It means that you see more opportunities. You're more able to take them. You're more able to act in faith rather than fear. You're more able to put yourself out there for things that really mean things to you. And you're more able to have discernment. And life becomes friggin' delicious. So treat yourself to a delicious life, Jen, one day at a time, just showing up for yourself. Oh my gosh, Shelby. I'm just laughing at your series of comments. I'll share the first one. Just talked about a work call where I asked what the caller wanted and they said justice, and I'm like, me too, bitch. Yeah, big mood. Big, hard same. Me too. Anyway, that's your card, Jen. Thank you, I needed this, Jen says. I've been overwhelmed with so much going on. Needed the reminder that I need to take it one piece at a time. Yeah, one piece at a time is never not the right choice, because in truth, we can't do 5 pieces at once. And when we try to kid ourselves and make us think we can, we just get overwhelmed. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from Millie. Then I'm going to tell you and give you a link if anyone would like the detailed July Witchy Weather Report. This is like, I guess it's a little bit of a sales pitch, but I just want to give you all the option because people have been interested in them. It's been really fun, and I'm recording them tomorrow, so it's the last chance. Okay, Millie, your card, general awareness. I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I can't quite peg why. I love this. This isn't exactly a question, but it's like enough of a question, and I love it. Oh my gosh, hi Hollis, how are you? Hollis, it's so funny that you showed up because I was just telling everyone how I'm recording the monthly Witchy Weather Reports, the detailed ones, and I know you ordered one, tomorrow. And it was so special to me that I got to meet you and read for you a couple weeks ago, and then I saw like that you ordered a reading, and I'm like, oh, this is so wonderful. So hello, welcome. Let me know if you'd like a card. You can drop a cat in the chat if you'd like a card, and I will pull one for you. I've already got some people lined up, so it will be in the order that requests were received. Okay, Millie, this card is for you. Millie, we have the Sun. Things are actually about to get a lot less confusing, a lot more stark and clear. That is what the Sun represents. The Sun's kind of getting whited out on Instagram, but it's the Sun, so that's kind of appropriate. This card kind of looks like that anyway. The Sun represents the clear illumination of truth. And we have that clarity, and once we get clear, we can't unknow it, right? That's really what it is. It's like truth and becoming fully aware of clarity is like a portal we step through and can't go back. So once we become clear on things, that might mean that there are things we have to admit to ourselves that we would rather not admit, or that we're a little uncomfortable with, and now we have to deal with them, right? Truth is not always 100% comfortable, but it does set you free. It sets you free from the lies you've been living in. And I don't say this to mean that you've been living in lies, but I think that we all have capacity for some self-denial around a few things, around ourselves and what we are and aren't capable of in both directions, right? And our own bigness and our own capacity for how we can make a mark on this world, and around people and things that we're invested in and attached to. We all have capability for self-denial, and it comes out of our caring, right? It's like the more we care about something, the more we have capability of of being in a little bit of denial about it. That doesn't make us bad or stupid. That just makes us human beings, right? Humans tend to make emotional decisions, not purely rational ones. And even when we think we're being 100% rational, I find that's often a sign that we're being a little bit emotional, because it's simply not in human nature to be 100% rational. We can take a step back and be objective. But if we're like, no, not considering my emotions, that guarantees that there's some emotions you actually don't want to think about. And therefore are not being 100% rational. So anyway, my point being, the sun brings us clarity. So you're about to get a big dose of clarity. Some of it will be uncomfortable. Some of it will feel like blessed freedom. And all of it will free you to move forward in your truth. So hang in there. I know that you've been going through it. I know that you mentioned that you're like feeling overwhelmed, can't quite peg why. The clarity is coming. And sometimes with overwhelm in particular, it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back happens. We're overwhelmed. It's too much. And sometimes that is really a stressful moment. And then we get some clarity on what needs to happen. We can admit it to ourselves. And then we feel relief, because we are able to set ourselves free from the high expectations we've been putting on ourselves. So I'm wishing you clarity. I'm wishing you joy. I'm reminding you that even during difficult times, you are allowed to have fun, and you are allowed to feel joyful and feel pleasure. Okay. Cool. Hollis dropped a cat in the chat. We got a few people on deck behind you. I'm going to read for Melissa, but this is a good time because it's 11:30 to just let you know. And you can find the links to everything. If you're on Instagram, you can find the links to everything that I am talking about on Instagram. But for everyone else, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. I have been offering for the last 3 months a personalized full month-long Witchy Weather Report. And what I do is week by week, I go through the month. I pull a card for every week. I share the energy of the week for you in particular, not just for like generally, like, you know, I do a general card at the beginning of each month here in this report. It was the Fool today, by the way. Take the leap. And then I give you some further advice on, this is the vibe, do this. This is not the vibe, don't do this. And it's really helpful. And I've been doing them for myself as well. And I find I go back every week and look at the card, and it really helps me kind of make sense of my life. And other people have been telling me too that it's been really helpful. I find that sometimes the most helpful readings are like that. Like, it's almost like a time release reading. Each week you can get the nugget that you need and just move in that simple clarity. And it's a little different than like one big reading all at once. So I've been finding it meaningful. If you think it might be meaningful for you, give it a try. It's $37. If you decide to subscribe and save, you get $10 off. It's $27 a month, and you can cancel anytime just by like emailing me and canceling. And whatever, the link is in there. I just popped it into the chat, and you can, if you so desire, today's the last day to order one for July, because I'm recording them all tomorrow. Okay. Judith says, my cat wouldn't post, but I meowed. Okay, good. Don't worry. All right, Melissa, pulling a card for you. And Melissa, did you have a particular question? Please I'll scroll up and take a look. I'll take a look and see. I kind of know your general vibe, but if you have a question, please tell me. Okay. Hollis says, I loved it. I've been telling everyone how amazing it. Thank you so much. I got to meet Hollis at the Beer Witch on the solstice. I did summer solstice readings in person. I don't get to do this very often, but I may be doing more solstice readings at the Beer Witch for the winter solstice. We talked about maybe doing this regularly on the solstice, which I'm so excited about. Beer Witch is in Brooklyn. It's a great little craft beer bar. It's walkable from Atlantic Terminal and a ton of subways, so it's super accessible. It's adorable, and I love the owner, and I was reading cards for the solstice, and I feel like I made a bunch of new friends. Like, it's just a wonderful place. Anyway, Mary Jane meowed on Insta, but switched to Facebook. Don't worry, I got you. You're actually next after Melissa. Okay. Melissa, no question, just brain scrambles. Scrambled eggs. Melissa, the answer to your questions is yes, go through the portal. This is a double thing for you, because we have the Fool already for everyone. You are being invited in particular to go through the portal. Go through the portal to possibility. Look at that friggin' beautiful universe through the portal. Remember that it's holding your friggin' hand, because I said so. And we have this beautiful sense of like a moonlit night garden here. And what this really represents to me is that there are opportunities where you can't see the full story. That's always true in every choice we make, by the way. We always think, let me get all the facts and make the decision. And the truth is that can lead us to paralysis, because can we ever truly have all the facts? Things can change in a minute, right? You may have only a partial sense of what different opportunities may do to your life. You will never know everything. And so in some ways we have to trust our instincts and our intuition. In other ways we have to trust our self-knowledge, right? We have to trust A, our ability to know what the hell we want, and B, our ability to get ourselves out of a jam if one occurs. Because no matter what we choose, life might throw a stupid curveball at us, right? We all got hit with 2020, right? That just happened, right? No matter what we choose, curveballs can happen. So in my opinion, we might as well choose what the fuck we want. I cursed during this broadcast. It's PG-13. Enjoy. So step through the portal, Melissa. Like, whatever feels like a beautiful, delicious, night blooming garden to you, where the universe is calling out to you, that is a yes. Say yes to that. Melissa O'Tara always reminding me I know best. Yes, but specifically reminding you to trust your desires rather than your fear stories. So if that perspective helps. I have to drop off my love to everyone. Cool. See you soon, Jen. See you tonight. Okay, next up for Mary Jane. Mary Jane, did you have a particular question? I think I just saw your cat, but let me scroll back up. Scrolling. I just see a cat. Okay. Oh no, now I've opened up the comment dialogue. It's always tricky on my phone. Okay. Mary Jane, pulling a card for you, and then I'll tell you who's on deck in just a moment. No question. Okay. Mary Jane, my queen, your card is the moon, and you are invited to howl at it. If things are frustrating for you at this time, I invite you to, vent your frustrations in a way you feel is appropriate. The moon and howling at the moon, it's actually useful right now for you to get your thoughts in order and for you to understand, what needs to. Thank you so much, person who just tipped me. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. I just saw it pop up on my phone. Anyway, howling at the moon. You're invited, Mary Jane, to howl at the moon right now. I think right now some clarity is needed because in your life things are changing, and again, like we were talking about this kind of moonlit garden and how it doesn't mean we can see everything, but we have a sense of the possibilities. Good and bad, you need to howl about them. Because sometimes when we just somatically express ourselves or creatively express ourselves, we wind our way around to clarity and understanding. Because clarity and understanding at this point comes from within, not without. It's not about oh universe, oh whatever I believe in, oh objective truth, tell me what is real. It's about I am going to express myself until I work my way through and understand what is real and true in my heart. That's the energy. That is the vibe. So I encourage you, Mary Jane, to howl at the moon. Because you're going through a period of transition and transformation. Your shadow is involved. We can see that this wolf's reflection looks a lot more fierce. Like the wolf here is just howling at the moon, right? It's just oh, it feels good to everybody. I invite you, if you're in a place where you can do it without people looking like you are crazy, or even if not, and you feel comfortable, I invite you to get a good ow going right now. Ready? Ow! Howling at the moon feels so good. So howl with me, friends, if you desire to. This wolf is just howling at the moon. This wolf is just here's my feelings, right? Sometimes we just need to express our feelings. And inner wolf is actually very fierce and still. And then we also have this Scorpio energy coming out of the pool that is reflecting the moon, indicating mystery. Scorpio is about mystery, and I've been talking a lot about this with my friend Celia, how Scorpio is so into what is mysterious and hidden that often Scorpio hides things from itself. And so I want to ask you, what things do you hide from yourself? What things do you feel a little nervous about confronting directly? And I'm inviting you to confront them indirectly with a big howl. Chaka says, always up for a big howl. Yeah, do a big howl, everybody. You deserve it. Ow! So howl at the moon, like express your feelings. However, you have a big toolbox of expressing yourself. You have different mediums of art. You know, you're also allowed to just like, you know, vent and be a human being, or call someone up who's dear to you and share what's going on and tell them like, I don't need a solution, I just need you to listen to me feel my shit, or do that yourself, you know, because as you express your feelings without any particular desire to sort it out, it will sort itself out within you. The transformation is happening internally, not externally, and that is what will next move the plot forward. Okay. Thank you for listening. Okay, let's see who is on deck. I'm scrolling up and taking a look. We got Celia, then we got Chaka, then we got Shelby. And there are other people after, so don't worry, I will get to you. So Celia, Chaka, Shelby. I'll give you the big list, but I know I won't remember all of it. Celia, Chaka, Shelby, Judith, Nancy, then Judith, and then Hollis. That's who I have on deck currently. But Celia, Chaka, Shelby is who I'm going to read for currently. Because three is the max number my brain will hold. I don't have that much processing capacity, y'all. Plus, I'm accessing my intuition, and, you know, like, I'd rather keep those cylinders firing. I will get to everyone, even if we go a couple minutes over, because I do have time to do that today. Celia, I'm pulling a card for you right now. Celia, your card is the Ten of Cups. And look at these beautiful, like, prismatic lights on the Ten of Cups. I also want to share that for everyone who tuned in more recently, our card of the day for everyone for the month of July was the Fool. So for everyone, take the leap. The universe has your back. The universe is holding your hand. And sometimes, even if it's just a belief, even if we're just telling ourselves that allows us to see the opportunities and see the safety net that are before us. Whereas if we tell ourselves, I'm all on my own, we kind of make that true because our brains look for confirmation bias. We can't help it. That's a human construct. So we might as well set ourselves up for confirmation bias that lets us free ourselves. Take the leap. Trust yourself. That's for everybody. Now for you, Celia, I say this, I brought up the Fool again because these prisms also were present on the Fool card. We have this big thing about light being refracted and reflected, and you being a vessel for light to reflect off of. You are a mirror for others right now in a very positive way, and others are a mirror for you. So there can be this kind of mutual growth and expansion that's almost a little bit mysterious, where it's like you're having conversations with someone about two apparently disparate topics, and then each of you helps the other kind of accidentally. Have you ever had that happen? I bet you have. I know you. Where you have like a conversation and someone says something that feels completely unrelated, but it makes something click for you, and you're like, oh, this, now I know this. I'm so glad we had this conversation for a reason that doesn't even make sense. So that energy is very present right now. Be around your chosen family and your community especially. We have these beautiful crystalline cups here, meaning that you have the opportunity to fill and overfill your cup. Your cup can runneth over. You can be full of joy, full of pleasure. You can grow through pleasure. You can grow through possibility. You can grow through just like being curious and joyful with those that you care deeply about and trust. So spend time with your family and chosen family at this point. Know that as you build those relationships, you're only building future joy and future possibilities, not just for you, but for all of you. The whole shebang. Okay, I already forgot who was after Celia, so here we are. Okay, now Chaka, then Shelby. Y'all are so wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this community. I love doing this every month. I love how we all support each other and show up for each other. I love how we all, I love everyone's sense of humor on this broadcast. I love the vibe. Chaka, scrolling through in case there is a question. I know you mentioned feeling mixed in a lot. I don't see a particular question. And I know Shelby just popped a question in, so you're on deck, Shelby. Okay, Chaka, Son of Cups. You are meant to fill your own cup right now, Chaka. You are meant to tend to your inner well in particular, so it's important to know it's not just a one-off thing. It's about building emotional resilience in a long-term way. You are specifically instructed to look for the habits and actions and practices that will keep your inner well healthy and flourishing. You can literally look at this photo, or it's not a photo, it's like a collage thing, this artwork that shows the Son of Cups like sipping from a cup of water, and within there's like this beautiful like watery landscape within their body. And so you are invited to tend your own inner landscape at this time. That's the message. And you're invited to ask yourself as you go through your day, how can I tend my inner landscape? As we were talking about the Mother of Pentacles and taking those small steps for our stability, apply this to your emotions, apply this to your emotional stability. Make sure that there's time in your day every day that is just about you and you tending to your inner landscape. Time spent tending your own garden right now, so to speak, is immeasurably valuable. It helps you for the difficult things that you face externally with the people and situations around you, and it helps you with your own internal journey. And it's a one day at a time, everyday thing. So it's not like take this pill tonight and call me in the morning, you'll feel better. It's the daily vitamins that help you thrive and flourish overall. Refill your cup daily, right? There's a quote that I was thinking of the other day. It's a little cheesy, but it's like people say inspiration wears off, and so do showers, and that's why we recommend taking them daily. And it's just like a little silly, but like tend to your inspiration and your inner well daily. Less about inspiration and more about your own inner resilience, your own emotional space. Do what you can to create spaciousness in your heart. That doesn't mean pushing yourself to be more spacious. It means giving yourself time where you're actively refilling your heart and actively being kind to yourself so that that inner well naturally becomes more spacious over time. Okay? Okay. Next up, we got Shelby. I'm going to make a quick shout out about Shadow Work Summer School because it starts today, so it's last call. If anyone wants to sign up, you can. And then I have a few more people to read for. I will get to everyone. At least everyone who's asked so far. You know what? Hang on. Hydration checkpoint. We just had the Son of Cups. That's a reminder for us all. Let's do it. Drink with me, friends. Okay, Shelby. This deck is beautiful, by the way. Yeah, it is. I love this deck like crazy. It is the Way Home Tarot, and it's by Bakara Wintner and Autumn Whitehurst. Thank you. This hits will amp up the meditation. Love it. Shelby says, feeling journey, making moves, what do now? Okay, pulling a card for you. Shelby, what do now is the Ace of Pentacles. Nurture your unfolding in small practical ways. So you are also asked to look after yourself, and you're asked to make this as practical as possible. You are asked to show up for your daily care. Again, I'm inviting you to be the little hamster, and show up for yourself, but know that you're unfolding and know that you're growing in two directions. You're growing down, you're rooting into yourself, into the stability you've created, and into, importantly, parts of yourself that perhaps you have not felt permission to acknowledge or honor in the past, right? Yourself is bigger than what the world would have you be. And this is true for everyone, right? Like the world around us, especially like when humans get language, like I hate to break it to everyone, and every so often I see this like thing go around on Facebook, like, did you know some people don't have an inner monologue? I got news for you. We aren't born verbal. We learn language. We learn language as like toddlers, right? So we are born with minds. Babies don't just walk around thinking nothing, but they don't think in words. They think in feelings. They think in concepts. And I say this to you because when we become verbal, yes, we gain the ability to articulate in such a greater way and connect and communicate with other people in a very specific way that allows us to get our needs met and allows us to think big thoughts and create art and create community. And also, there becomes a piece of ourselves that becomes harder to access because some things can't be contained by our understanding of language. And you're rooting into that piece of yourself. You're rooting into the part of yourself that is bigger than what everybody else gets. Because language is like definition. It puts definition upon us, right? And all of us have an inner part, have inner selves that in some ways defy definition, right? All of us feel like, yeah, these are some words I choose to share about myself. These are some helpful words that help me understand myself. And also, there are things about me that just feel like they don't quite fit in any box. And you are giving yourself permission to be bigger than the box. And you're rooting into your bigger self right now. That's where your stability comes from. So please trust that. And as you do that, in an external way, in the real world way, there's a beautiful blossoming, a beautiful unfolding. So yeah, feeling journey, making moves, what do now, continue, and be very loving to yourself because this is a critical point in your journey. You need nourishment. So do what you can to make it easy. This is not like growth like this is not easy, right? It can be very emotional. There will be times when it feels like a plateau, and there will be times when it feels like you're growing like a weed. And spoiler alert, when you're growing like a weed, it feels like an emotional roller coaster. So tend to yourself as best you can in very practical ways. Yeah, and oh, my spider plant baby sprouted roots yesterday. I love that congruence. That's so delicious. The fields are expanding. I'm sure there's some new neurological pathways being built away from fear. Yeah. Taking action by speaking directly to my experience in the situations where I can trust my intuition. As I speak about it more and more, people relate in literal ways. Root system expanding. Ow. Yeah, right. Expansion can be painful. Especially roots, right? Like roots expand into soil. There's resistance there. They're expanding into the soil. The soil delivers them nutrients and also gets in their way, right? So we have to expand even though there's some resistance. We have to trust that that is still the right thing to do. So please trust yourself. That's my invitation to you. Okay, I've got a few more people on deck, so let's see who's left today. We have Nancy. We have Judith. Looking to see if there's anyone else on this scroll. Nancy, Judith, and Hollis. That's who's on deck. Nancy, Judith, Hollis, I invite each of you, if you have a particular question, drop it in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'll just pull a general card for you. That's everyone for the moment. And I want to just give a quick shout out for anyone who's thinking about joining Shadow Work Summer School. It starts tonight. It starts tonight. Our first meetup is going to be on Zoom at 7:30. If you would like to be a part of it, Shadow Work Summer School, it's a big thing. It's a big commitment. So if you're just hearing about it, I'll send you a link so you can read a little more about it. But this is really for those who have been seeing me post about it and been maybe on the fence. It's okay to make your choice yes or no. But if you've been thinking about it, this is the day. Today is the day because we start today, and I don't want you to miss a class. So Shadow Work Summer School, which several of you have already joined up for, and I'm so excited. I love the group. So if you've been thinking, I just want to let you know we have an amazing supportive community. We're doing 6 weeks of shadow work. It's going to be intense. We're doing Zoom support calls once a week on Sunday nights. Everything gets a replay if you can't make it. And every Monday, we're dropping some like shadow work assignments for you to work with you, yourself, and you, for you to carve out time for yourself to do the work, and heal and integrate these parts of yourself. And then on Sunday, we do the support call and we support each other. Because I think the two parts are very important. We are hurt in relationship. We are hurt in community by being misunderstood, by miscommunications, whatever, by mean people. And we also heal in relationship and community. So we're doing the inner work, and also we have this opportunity to support each other in healing community. It's the two-part healing that I think is really important. So anyway, I just posted a link to that in the chat for Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And if you're on Instagram, you can find that link in my bio. Shadow Work Summer School is the label. Like if you just click the main link in my bio, Shadow Work Summer School is the button. Anyway, that is all. I just wanted to make that public service announcement. Last call for Shadow Work Summer School. Last call for your July personalized tarot pull. Which is bigger than the one cards we do here. It's like a big full month spread. Okay. Nancy, Judith, Hollis. I'm getting to you, and then that will close us up for the day. Nancy, I love your question. What is feeding me this month? This is a delicious question. You know I love a good question. I love this one in particular. Nancy, justice is feeding you. Nancy, you are meant to be a foot soldier of justice, and that feeds you. And this will show up in very personal ways and very external ways. So justice within yourself, justice within your own mind is served by you going out and being a foot soldier of justice in the real world. The two are not explicitly linked, but they are intertwined in a way that can allow you to move forward on both things. Not exactly simultaneously, but there's a pinging effect where it's externally being an agent of justice, showing up for what you believe in, which I know you do, and I know there's projects you're involved in where you're very directly being a foot soldier of justice right now, and I thank you for that, by the way, if I haven't already done so, because we need more people to just show up and be like, someone should do something, I'm someone, and you are one of those someones. So as you show up externally in the world, what begins to happen is your own inner compass about justice for yourself begins to get clearer and clearer. Because it becomes undeniable, if others deserve this justice, I too deserve justice. And your own moral compass of what is justice and what constitutes fairness becomes polished and honed. And so we just get this feedback loop where justice, you and justice are having a relational spiral growth, and you're spiraling up. Justice feeds you this month, Nancy. Friggin', thank goodness. We need more people like you in the world. That's that. Okay, next up we have Judith. I'm not sure if Judith had a question, so I'm going to take a look. I see a cat. Scrolling through in case there's a question for Judith. My cat wouldn't post, but I meowed. I actually did see your cat, Judith. Okay. But I know sometimes Facebook doesn't always tell you. Sometimes Facebook acts like it's not posting when it is posting. Facebook is... I don't know, man. Facebook needs shadow work. Thanks, Roy. You're very welcome. Judith, this card is for you. Hollis, you're on deck. Judith, 8 of Cups. I want to ask you, this is a very direct, blunt question. Where in your life are you holding on to emotional garbage and trying to pretend that it's better than it really is? I know that's a really harsh and direct question, and I apologize. But I want to ask you, because for me, that's what this card in this deck is about. There's this octopus, this beautiful, proud octopus. You know, octopi are and I know octopi is not correct, by the way, but I still say it because I like it and no one can stop me. I know we say octopuses because it's not actually Latin roots. I don't care. I'm going to keep saying octopi. I just enjoy it. Octopi are the geniuses of the sea. They're very, very smart. They're very practical. They're MacGyvers. They can get in and out of things that you wouldn't imagine they could get in and out of. Octopi are very potent and very smart. And if they lived longer, they might overthrow us as a dominant species. They only live for a few years. Anyway, this octopus is in its power because power inherent, wisdom, ability to communicate and articulate and do amazing things that others would find impossible. And they're surrounded by cups, but it's garbage. It's styrofoam, and it's crumpled up bottles and cans. And it really represents, to me, with the 8 of Cups, the things we surround ourselves with emotionally that don't quite work. And we just keep telling ourselves, well, maybe if I just keep trying, maybe if I just keep trying to bring my best to this, then it'll work. But if it's not bringing its best to you, whether this is a relationship or a situation, if it's one way and we keep pouring in trying to make it work, it becomes self-harm at some point. It becomes a form of denial where we're pouring our energy into the thing that isn't working, when maybe what we need is a boundary. And maybe what we need to do is withdraw our energy and keep it just for ourselves for a time, so that we can practice the discernment of choosing, where will I pour my energy next? I don't want to pour it where it will go unheeded. I don't want to waste it. I don't want to do the equivalent of taking a beautiful full cup of water and just dumping it out and being there, put my energy in, hope it works. Instead, I want to give my energy to those who will both deeply appreciate the gift and be so grateful, and also those who will in return want to engage in that kind of energetic back and forth with me, who where it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. So that's the energy for you, Judith, is for right now. I invite you to take your energy back, pour into yourself, so that you can practice that, slowly begin to practice, like, where can I pour, where I will be appreciated and I will receive back, because that's what you deserve. Okay, Hollis. I'm feeling a bit of generalized anxious energy. This is our last reading for the day. I'm feeling a bit of generalized anxious energy, but I'm not sure why or what to do with it. Any direction would be much appreciated. I want to just share with you, Hollis, a couple people have said that today, and I've been feeling that, and a couple people I know have been feeling that independently of this moment. So I think there's something in the air. A lot of us are in a transitional time. Transitional times bring generalized anxiety, even if they're good. A lot of people are working for positive change in their life, and as humans, we resist change. It's scary because we can't predict it, right? When we're in a new situation, when we're in the old situation, we know where the lion is and when they come out and how to hide from them. When we're in a new situation, we don't know where the new lions are and we don't know how to protect ourselves. So we get nervous around change, even if it's good change. That's human and normal. So a lot of people are experiencing positive changes and the anxieties that come with them right now. So I'm just sharing that with you, and I'm going to pull a card for you. Hollis, it's the universe. Look at that, which is holding your hand, everybody. I'm just like shouting from rooftops about that. I don't know why, but I just feel a need to give everyone permission at this moment to believe that you are being looked out for by something greater than yourself. And I want to give you permission to do that, even if you fear or think it might not objectively be true, because just allowing yourself to feel it might be what gives you the courage to do the thing you need to do. So there. I'm shouting belligerently from rooftops about this week. So the universe, Hollis, look at all this abundant possibility. Look too at this big world, and this tiny world that represents us, like how we're specks of dirt on the earth, right? We're a speck of dust. We're so tiny compared to all the things. Now, that feels good and it feels scary, right? It feels scary because we do feel like the big bad universe is indifferent. And in some ways, it is. In some ways, the big bad universe is like, you're a speck of dust. I don't even notice you, right? The same way we might walk through our day and not notice a little ant crawling along on its journey. But in other ways, when we choose to carve out special meaning in our own little part of the universe, when we choose to form relationships and community, not just with other humans and like pets and loved ones, but with kind of in a broader sense, with our creativity, with nature, with the world around us, when we choose to carve out relationships and meaning for ourselves, we find that the universe does have our back. We find that we do have a safety net. We find that we do have a circling community that is very invested in our growth and success, that really cares. And so I just want to invite you to carve that space for yourself right now. And you don't actually have to do any big action right now. The universe usually comes up when we've been through a chapter in our lives. And it's almost like time for the epilogue, like at the end of the book where all the action has concluded. And then there's the epilogue that kind of writes everything up, right? Or at the end of the movie where it's like you see the snapshots and it's like Sammy and Danny got married and then they had 5 kids and John went off to be a TV news anchor and blah, blah, blah. Like the epilogue kind of wraps everything off with a bow, right? You're in the epilogue right now where you can look back at what you've been through and identify the ways you've cultivated this community and connection for yourself. Identify the ways that you've given yourself resource, that you've created for yourself a universe that has your back. It might even be a good time to kind of write a list of resources that you've cultivated for yourself. And always, this is like a co-creation thing, right? Like we don't just cultivate things for us. There are things we just do for ourselves, but we also are in relationship with everyone and everything we interact with. And by doing so, we cultivate a network of connection. We cultivate a network of safety. So it's time for you to look back at where you've been and ask yourself about what you have been cultivating and lean into that network. You're feeling a little bit of anxious energy. Know that the universe has your back. The universe you've created around yourself has your back, and trust it and allow yourself to feel that faith and allow yourself to ask for help. You don't have to feel anxious alone. Even if all the help is just like, can you be nice to me? I'm struggling. Like we're all allowed to say that. We're all allowed to just be like, hey, can you be a little nice to me? I'm having a tough day. And you know what? People will. And the people who love and care about you will be like, yeah, hell yeah, I can. And like, you will find yourself supported and held in a way you 5 minutes ago didn't know you could be. So I invite you to reach out for that support. And I invite you to take a look, an honest look, a loving look about how you've cultivated in your life, because I know you have. Okay, everybody, that brings us to the close. Remember, our card for the month of July is The Fool. Take the leap. Trust yourself. The universe has your back, and importantly, so do you. Trust yourself. I will be back next month. Thank you so much. I needed this. I'm so glad to hear it. And you'll hear from me again tomorrow when I send you your personalized Witchy Tarot report. And speaking of which, I'm going to drop links in the chat. So here is the link for, if you're on Instagram, it's harder for me to do this on the phone, but the link is in my bio. So just go to my bio. You'll see a list of links. But this is the link. Everyone else, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. This is the link for Shadowwork Summer School. Last chance to sign up is today. Everyone who has signed up already, you're getting an email within the next hour about how to tune in for our Zoom call tonight. I'm so excited. We have such a great group. That's the Shadowwork Summer School link. And for anyone who would like the personalized July tarot report, it's like, I think it's 7 cards. It's 6 or 7, depending on how many weeks in the month, every month. So it's a week by week energy of the month for you. I go back every week and look at my card, and it also is an overarching, here's the journey you're on, so do this and don't do this energy. I find it really helpful. Like, I've been doing it for me along with everyone else, and it's been a game changer for me. So if that's of interest to you, order your July tarot report here. And it's, like, do or don't do. You support me just by showing up on this broadcast. This is not me trying to, like, get anyone to, like, do a thing or buy a thing that they don't want to. But if it's right for you, opt in. Y'all are wonderful. Have a wonderful month. I will see you again towards the end of July, and we will do another Witchy Weather Report. In the meantime, follow me wherever you're at, just so we can connect throughout the month. Bye, friends.